I'm going to take you through a little studio tour. I have a very small studio in my living room right here. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I originally am from Bayshore, moved to Rocky Point about 9 years ago, and live with my husband Stelios, and we have a very nice life together as artists. He's also an artist right here on the North Shore. So we'll just jump right in. So the first painting I'll talk about here, I finished this one the other day. It's of one of my favorite spots in the woods, which is Cathedral Pines. And this is from direct observation. We were out there with our two kids for a couple hours painting, and I worked into this for another couple days afterwards, just to kind of get it right. It took a lot of work on this one. Kind of kept going back and forth to try to really just get the colors and shapes right, but I'm really happy with it. And this really is, you know, the kind of style that I've been working with lately. So these kinds of shapes, these kinds of colors. We can move on right over here. We'll come here next, and this is an older painting. I did this one, it says 2011, and it's of Wading River Beach, and it's an older style. I like to look back at the older work that I've done, and I really am in love with this piece. And you can see my style changing from year to year, and it doesn't mean that what I'm doing now is superior somehow to what I did then. I think that as artists, we kind of go, you know, through these waves where we try different styles, or we fine tune, or we work with this, you know, this style or that style, and, you know, it doesn't make one right and one wrong. I love the shapes though that I used in this, and it's on some kind of paper actually, but this has been in our home for a long time. We'll come over here next. So this one was done at Robert Moses Field 2, which is this is on the bay side, kind of like where the cars drive, and this was part of Patchogue Arts Council has a Paint the Great South Bay I guess exhibition every year. I actually won first place in that one. I'm not tooting my own horn. This is really like, this painting was kind of like the beginning of me working with a new style. I was out for the full day with my husband painting, and was really trying to understand how to paint the water in the way that I wanted to, and this is what I came up with for the day, and I was really happy with it. And it was really the beginning of me working with these like smaller shapes, I would say, as you can see in here. So the one above it, I did this one last year. This was also part of that same competition from last year. This is from 2 years ago, so this one's last year, and it's from Cedar Beach, and I think we're going to be working into this one a little bit more. I plan to go back to the same spot and, you know, really kind of work into this. It's a great beginning, but needs a little work, but I'm excited to do it. So there's that. This one right here was also part of that same competition for last year. This one won 3rd place last year. You can see my style, you know, changing, kind of playing with colors. There's a lot of playing with shapes, I should say. There's a lot of blending that kind of happens here. You can't really tell where the ocean and the sky are separate, but then you kind of can somehow, because, you know, this is the horizon line over here. This was done at Copsaug Beach out east. And, you know what, we'll just come right over here. So this painting here, this was done earlier this week at Indian Island Park, which is in Riverhead, and also done from direct observation. Had both my daughters with me when I painted this, and I'm going to work into this one some more. I want to refine my shapes a little bit, and the colors, and play a little bit more, but you know, it's pretty close, so probably another hour or 2 of work and I'll be done on this one. This one here is a finished piece from 2015. Did this one in Patchogue at the Live After 5. I remember it well because I was pregnant with my first daughter, and you know, it's just a really quick study. This one might have been an hour tops, and really had fun playing with all the shapes and colors. And sometimes you can do, so, you know, for me, sometimes I can do a quick study and say, all right, it's a finished painting, you know. A lot of times it doesn't work, but in this case, I really like it for what it is, which is just really a quick study. Okay, moving right along. I know we don't have a ton of time, so I'll just kind of jump in over here. This one was done in the woods near my house in Shoreham. There's this place called Split Rock, and did this one in 2011. I did this one on location, and it's oil paint. I stopped using oil paint on location after this painting because this one involved me going into the woods, and I had to carry this thing, and I had to carry it wet back to my car afterwards, and it was a hike into the woods with this. It was about a mile each way, I would say, and I had to carry all this plus my equipment and worry about this thing getting destroyed, which it did. So I had to work back into it at a later time. But so this painting here though is special. It's definitely special. I did it right after I kind of found out about this location. I'm very drawn to nature. I have a lot of favorite spots. Even though I come off as extroverted, I'm actually quite introverted, and my favorite thing is really just to get lost in the woods somewhere, or be on a hike, or just be in nature. So I'll come over here really fast. I'm just going to talk really quickly about these two here. These two are older. This is a different style that I kind of toggle with. So I have like my nature style, you know, my plein air style that I do, and then I have a more imaginative style, such as this one here. So this one is from, we actually made a tarot card series of the Major Arcana, which is like the first 21 cards of the deck. And this card here is Temperance. So Temperance has to do with balance, and the young lady in this picture is very in tune with nature. So, you know, to me it has to do with balance in nature. And, you know, we're in quarantine right now. So I feel like Mother Nature wins, and we have to kind of find this balance with nature to live happily. And I just feel like people are going to be getting more back into the homesteading arts as we kind of come into this new era that's happening. So, you know, this young lady is, she's making her own garden. She's going to make food from her garden. She's very self-sufficient. So she has some skills that a lot of us don't have. But this has always been a favorite of mine right here. And then just really quickly, my last piece I'll talk about today is this one. It's based on Venus de Milo. Did this one in, looks like I did it in 2012. It was part of a an exhibit at the Islip Arts Council. It was a juried show, and I think it did place. And this was, again, kind of, you know, talks about my older style that I toggle between with a lot of this collage work that's happening here, and the colors. For a long time I used collage in my paintings. I still sometimes will toggle with that, but I wouldn't say it's my primary style. But I still go back to this painting and I look at it, and I look at the shapes, and these same shapes that are in here, you can find those same shapes inside my paintings, you know, from current. So, you know, there's something to that. I feel like, you know, over the years, you know, you just keep developing your style as an artist the more you work. I do wish I could show you more, but we're just about out of time. I'm so glad I was able to show you a little bit through my studio though today. And hopefully we'll be out of this quarantine mess soon, and I can see you in person and say hello. Okay, have a good night.